Do Filipinas only use love as a means to an end? Iced coffee. Yep, let's talk about it. Do Filipinas only use love to get to your money? I hear this all the freaking time. Is it all just a transaction, a means to an end? I've heard all the stories, and I have my own story. What I've learned, lived, and proven about love, marriage, and what really matters when building a life with my Filipino wife. Ooh, that was a rhyme. Building a life with my Filipino wife. Welcome to the G5 Philippines channel. If you're new here, I'm glad you found me. Appreciate you clicking in. And if you've been here before, thank you for all your support. But in either case, it would mean a lot to us and our family if you would watch to the end of the video and then decide if you like it and click the like, comment, subscribe, share. I mean, if we can grow the channel, then I can devote more time and care to giving my perspectives on life married to a Filipina and living in the Philippines for you. So acknowledging the reality, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Financial stability can be a strong motivator in relationships, and not just for Filipinas, but for anyone anywhere in the world. But in a place like the Philippines, where life is tough for many, families and opportunities are limited. The need for security becomes even more important. It's human nature to want stability. That's a real thing, and I completely, totally get it. But does that necessarily mean that every Filipina is only in it for the money? Man, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. So I have to respectfully disagree with a lot of people. I've been married to my Filipino wife for 13 years, and we've lived here in the Philippines for 7. And if money were the only thing keeping us together, I can tell you, we'd have fallen apart a long time ago. Because trust me, I'm not rolling in cash. So I've seen guys come here thinking love will just happen, that they don't have to worry about money because Filipinas are easy. And let's be real, being a foreigner, you don't have to throw a lot of money around to land a Filipina. But it's easy to fall into a trap because it doesn't cost much to do a lot here. It doesn't take much to impress a girl if that's your only goal. But is that what you're really looking for? Because that's not necessarily love. That's just a transactional encounter. And no, I'm not talking about prostitution. So if that's how you start the relationship, don't be surprised when that's what it becomes for the long haul. You're setting the terms from day one. I always say, you don't want to establish a precedent. You don't want to, set anything in stone. But yeah, money, may very well get her attention, but money alone will never win her heart. And for a relationship to last, you gotta be real, trustworthy, loving, emotionally connected. You can't let yourself be led by by your impulse. It's about what's in your heart and how you show up as a partner, unless all you're after is a lay. But if you want something real, long term, you gotta be real, and you gotta be in it for the long term. So that's what I've learned, not just from my own experience, but from true stories of friends who I've sort of shared this path. So beyond money and dealing with stereotypes, let's get past the money talk, because there's way more to this than most people realize. A lot of guys come here thinking Filipinas only care about money. And sure, it's often true that the girls you meet at bars or clubs are primarily interested in money. Yeah, that's the environment they're in. And survival in tough circumstances can push people toward transactional relationships. But here's the thing. I believe even in those situations, hearts can be won over by a real man who knows how to love a woman. I've seen it happen. Guys who came here looking for something casual, but ended up building something real because they treated her with genuine love and respect. Something they may not have ever really gotten before. Money might get you noticed, but love, real love, is what changes priorities and turns something transactional into something real. And when you show up as someone who's trustworthy, caring, and emotionally present, someone with values, integrity, you can break that whole money first mentality. But if all you bring to the table is cash for a lay, then that's all you'll ever be in her eyes. At the end of the day, women, just like men, want stability on every level: emotional, relational, and financial. But let's be real about it. It's easy to get swept up when you first arrive here. You walk into a place and suddenly you've got beautiful women giving you attention that you're not used to back home. It's exciting, it's flattering, and let's be honest, it hits you right in the ego, but probably more in the hormones. But that rush can cloud your judgment fast. And I've said this in many of my past videos. Slow down. Think with the head between your ears, not the other one, If you let that excitement drive your decisions, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak or worse. I've heard really horrible stories. But if you can keep your feet firmly on the ground, show up with authenticity, respect, emotional stability, you'll find that the right woman will recognize that and respond in ways that no amount of money ever could. Being a real man isn't about flashing cash or playing games. It's about showing real love, building trust, and creating something worth keeping. Now, I can't talk about the subject without sharing my own experience because honestly, my marriage actually proves that love can go far beyond money. When I first met my wife, I had the same questions that a lot of you guys have. Is she only interested in me because I'm a foreigner? Is money part of that equation? So early on, I asked her in my own roundabout way what she was really looking for in a husband. And 13 years later, I can tell you, money was never at the top of her list. She's been consistent from day one. She wanted a loving partner, someone she could trust, someone who'd be emotionally supportive, and build a family with her. Now, let's be real about that. I'm not wealthy. When we got together, I had a nice house, I had the cars, I had a great job back in Nashville. But when I brought her to that house for the first time, I was surprised, but I was probably more disappointed by her reaction. Here I am, I'm giving her my whole world and quite proud of the world I'm giving her, but she didn't really react. She didn't gush. She didn't seem impressed. And so years later, I asked her about it, and she said, well, she didn't want to make a big deal out of material things, even though, it was a huge upgrade from what she'd known. But, Filipinas, there's a pride in how she carries herself, like she wasn't about to act like she'd hit the jackpot just because of what I owned. Over the years, she's never shown a slightest hint of gold-digging behavior. I mean, she's lived with me through serious ups and downs, not just financially, but, life comes at you. She's never acted entitled. She's never made me feel like a walking wallet. And really, that's how I know that her love is genuine. And as I've said, I'm not sitting on a stack of cash. We live a modest middle-class life here in the Philippines. I work and we have what we need, but material wealth is definitely not what defines our relationship. And I believe that what's kept us together for 13 years, at least on my behalf, my part, is how I've shown up as a husband, a father, and a man. I treat her with respect, not just as my wife, but as a woman, as a mother, as a human being. I lay down a foundation that she can walk on while also lifting her up with love, support, kindness. It's not about money. It's about showing up every single day. And sure, money fades, houses, cars, things come and go. But respect, care, trust, and love, those are the things that last. That's what made our marriage work, and why I believe love can go beyond money. In case you haven't noticed, and I'm sure you guys watch a lot of these, expat YouTuber videos, and I hope that I'm not just part of that noise. The reason why I keep talking about this is because I keep getting these comments, just basically saying that they're only in it for the money. That's their only motivation. But anyway, and by the way, talking about finding real love, I want to mention Christian Filipina. This is the very platform where I met my wife. It's not a hookup app. It's a trusted dating site specifically designed for serious long-term relationships grounded in good, wholesome values. And the last time I checked, there were over 50,000 active Filipinas. Christian Filipina helps connect singles genuinely searching for love, not just passing flings, although, that can happen. They vet their members, they offer personalized support, and they focus on building lasting relationships. It worked for me. Back in 2011, that's exactly how I met my wife and how I ended up coming over here and meeting her and all that. So it worked for me. I believe it can work for you. So if you're serious about finding your Filipina soulmate, check out Christian Filipina. I'll leave my link in the description. I talked earlier about being a man, showing up as a man. So let's talk about that. Now, bear with me on this thought. The Bible says in Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Now, let's think about that. It's a call to be more, to do more, to rise above what's easy or selfish. It's not about dominance or control. It's about leading with strength, wisdom, and purpose. Being a real man means being bigger than life. Not an ego, but in how you show up every day. It means being someone who's strong enough to carry the burdens, wise enough to make sound decisions, and steady enough to guide your family through life's storms. It's about being the man who earns respect, not demands it or requires it. Someone she can look up to, rely on, and feel proud to call her husband. You don't get that by throwing money around or barking orders. You get it by being a protector, a provider, and a partner. The honest truth is, you can't expect devotion if you haven't built trust. You can't expect love if you haven't shown integrity. And you can't expect respect if you haven't led with humility and strength. Filipinas and women everywhere want a man who stands firm in his values, someone they can trust with their hearts, their future, and of course their family. Being a man isn't about being macho. It's about being steadfast, honorable, and intentional. So be the man who makes her feel safe, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually. Be the man who builds a life that makes her proud. Be the man whose love is powerful enough to create a bond that can't be broken. And I have a saying that, you get what you pay for. You get what you put into it. You reap what you sow. Here's a good truth. Relationships are reflective. If your approach is just to get a quick lay, you'll get what you pay for. Probably more than you bargained for. But if you're looking for real love, you need to invest with your whole heart, your whole self. That's how you overcome, or better yet, avoid the transactional mindset entirely and build something meaningful with the right woman. Not saying it's easy or that love guarantees success, but I've learned that love works a lot like currency. Not in a cold transactional way, but as something valuable that multiplies when given sincerely. The more you pour into someone with intention, respect, in love, the more likely you are to experience true connection. Love is an awesome feeling, especially when you find that true love. But to turn that love into lifelong love, it's about the everyday. It's what you do, how you show up, how you support her dreams, how you weather challenges together, rise above what was a money-driven encounter that's truly more likely destined for failure. That's what turns a relationship from a means to an end into a life worth building together. So, do Filipinas only use love as a means to an end? Well, I have a really, really good answer. It depends on you, entirely on you. If you walk into a relationship with shallow intentions and find yourself in love with a girl, don't be shocked if that's exactly what you get back. But if you show up with authenticity, respect, and a genuine desire to build something lasting, you'll find that love, and I'm talking real love, is possible, even in a world where money often clouds the picture. So, thanks for watching to the end. I hope this gives you something to, really think about, to chew on. And I want to hear your experiences, good or bad. Drop a comment and let's continue the conversation. Have a great day.